This is awesome. I love microphones. Hi, everybody. I am Ryan Donaldson. I'm the Vice President of Storytelling and Fandom, which means I get to have all of the fun things to do. I get to craft all of the interactive story that people are going to experience. I get to, from a lore standpoint, tell the stories in advance that you will tell at Celebration, at the events we do, from our role-playing games all the way into our graphic novels. I give the opportunity for each individual, kid, adult, otherwise, to actually become famous on a day-to-day basis. I create the interactive feeling that you get to have. Everybody here knows what it's like to see a child smile and hear their laughter. And we at Game Nation are actually dedicated into making that smile and that laughter happen. So I'd like to introduce this wonderful man here, this beautiful soul, whose idea and his brilliant mind created Game Nation from birth. So everybody give a hand for Daniel Ruke.
Wow, wow, wow. First of all, yes, everybody, thank you for coming out this evening. I do want to thank some Game Nation Army members that we have in the house. We have Matt, Pinky, and Bill. Thank you guys for coming out. Where's Emery? Sharon, and more. So if I forgot you, clearly, I apologize. But thank you, I appreciate everybody coming out. So I'm going to kind of tell you a little bit about what we're doing here. Representative Fitzenhagen, thank you.
Thank you, Daniel.
And thank you for telling us. Thank you for telling us status. Thank you. So basically what we're doing is we're taking the theme park industry, combining it with the video game industry, and we're creating a super niche. This has never been done before. A little bit about me. This is the first drawing I ever did. Orangewood Elementary, Miss Thurman's class. And so that's my first. And the second one, I only show you this because I'm kind of into branding, but if you notice, I was into branding, that's my second piece I ever did. So I was kind of, and Susan, but who I've worked with, you kind of get that, right? You like that. So anyway, this is what I did. I'm very fortunate because I'm one of the type of people who have really cool parents who allowed me to do what I do today. I've literally been doing my entire life. I started out with private art lessons in the 3rd grade. I continued that until I graduated from Ringling School of Art and Design in Sarasota, Florida. Graduated as an illustrator. I then opened up my first company into going to entertainment venues, doing stage design, nightclubs, so on and so forth. I moved that into marketing, advertising, and then I jumped into the video game industry. And one day I said, you know what, I'm going to combine all these wonderful things that I love to do in a single focus, and that's called Game Nation. So I'm very fortunate, and thanks to my parents for allowing me to do this. This is our team. We have a big team, but I'm going to talk about these guys in particular, and I'm very, very fortunate, especially from a guy that grew up in Southwest Florida who's been able to change the stars. I'm very fortunate these people have not only passed the torch, but they've supported us and jumped on. We've actually been working on this project for 4 years, you know, very quietly, and now you guys see us coming out. But that is me, and when I started, how I got in the video game industry, I met the guy all the way to the left. His name is Mark Mincher. He owns a company called Game Recruiter. He's the top recruiting firm in the video game industry. And I called him up and I said, Mark, this is what I want to do. And he says, well, first of all, I'm all in. Whatever you want to do, I'll do it. Now, this is a good friend of mine who will call me up in a moment's notice and go, I need you, what are you doing this weekend? I said, I have no idea. You tell me. He goes, you're going to go to University of Miami. I said, what am I doing? He goes, you're doing a lecture. I said, on what? He goes, you're going to make it up. And so that's this kind of guy. So I trust him emphatically because he's one of my agents in the video game industry. And so I told him about the idea, and he said, I have this guy I want you to talk to. He knows a little thing about theme parks. And he downplayed it. And I go, yep, I'll go meet him. So I called this guy named Bob. And I said, Bob, before I said anything, Mark's told me everything. Every time you're back, you know, up here in Orlando, I'd love to talk to you. Now, I got 4 daughters. I've been there 6 times to Disney this year so far. So I was like, I'll see you next weekend. Not a problem. My wife was very happy to go. So I went there, and I started telling this Bob about my idea, about how, you know, theme parks really haven't evolved to where we are today with the interactivity. They started us out, and they promised us great stuff, and we wanted, and a great start, and again, I still go, and I love it, but where's the next level, right? Where does it become us? And you know, with that future that was promised, where do we park our flying cars? You know, and so we talked about that, and he says, you know, I left 5 years ago because I saw that paradigm shift, and I was looking for you, and I'm going to help you build this theme park. I said, awesome, who are you? And he goes, well, I started, and that's this gentleman. He said, I started with Walt as the original Imagineer for the Magic Kingdom. And then I was hired by Universal Studios to take the back studio tour and actually make it a theme park. So I'm the co-founder of Universal Studios Creative, and my DNA runs throughout those parks around the globe. I said, I guess we can do this. And he says, yes, we can. Second fun story, the guy next to him, his name is Charles Weber. He's a former president of Lucasfilms. If anybody knows me, and I know some of you do, and you've seen this, I have a website called thebeststarwarscollectionever.com. I have a 600 square foot back in my house secret door dedicated to Star Wars. I hate Star Wars, right? So I went to, my agent called me up and says, I need you to be in LA. I got this powerful meeting, I want you to see these people. I said, awesome. Again, I do what I got $4. That's all I do what I'm told. So I've been married for what, 18 years? I do what I'm told. 2 moms, whatever, it's just me. Anyway, so I went there, and it was you know, a lot of big names, and it was very impressive, and there's just me there. And they started introducing themselves, and I made sure I went last because I was trying to think, what in the world can I say that was of any meaning with these big Hollywood folks? And the guy sitting across from me, my name's Charles Weber. I started with George Lucas. It was me and him. I oversaw his operations globally. I did Star Wars, Industrial Light and Magics, and you know, to what you know today. And so, looking at him like, you know, 13-year-old girl looking at Justin Bieber, I tried to control myself, right? And so it came back around the table and it came to me and I said, my name is Jan Ruke, and I paid half your salary. The whole choir, everyone was quiet. And he looked at me and goes, I've seen your collection, you have, thank you. And that was it. And that's how I got the former president of Lucasfilm to jump on. So, all right. Now the guy to the left, I think you might know this gentleman, Cole Peacock. He was also very early adapter. He's a co-founder of the company. And I was actually shocked because I was asking for his opinion. And I presented to him, he's like, you know what, we're doing this. And I was very, very, very thankful for that. But obviously, with a project like this, you need to have a very strong private-partner relationship to make it work. No one better on the planet than that gentleman right there. And I'm very thankful because of him, we have accomplished so much in such a short period of time. There we go. And then you heard me talk about marketing. So this is what we've been doing for the last 4 years, because we knew where we wanted to go. We knew what was happening. What we wanted to figure out is how to get there. You know, this idea has not happened. A new theme park has not been done in 50 years. So how do you actually pull off this billion-dollar idea? And this is what we came up with. We're starting in a 40,000 square foot building called Game Nation Arena. It's kind of like Disney Imagineering meets Microsoft Game Studio, but it's open to the public. It's kind of our beta test for the theme park itself. Make sense? Then you take those experiences on tour, just like Cirque du Soleil did. 12 cities, 10-day stays, portable domes. Now you've got your marketing, you're getting big beta tests, getting out there in the world, right? You do that while you're building the park. It is a large park, multi-acreage. This is part of the designs for it. So think of it this way. Think of, because you live in Game Nation, think of it as a golf course community. But while all the time you're constructing that, what are you going to do? And so what we're saying is we're going to start in that 40,000 square foot building, get those experiences out there, let people test it, take it on tour, get the learning that we need, all while we're constructing the park itself. Make sense? So that's what we're doing. Why are we here today? Well, because November 1st, 2nd, 3rd, we're doing our alpha test, right before beta. We're taking over downtown. We're making an interactive role-playing adventure. We've rented out Harborside, and we have points of play that we're going to spread around downtown this November. This is kind of what it looks like. Now again, we're taking the business model of the theme park and applying to downtown Fort Myers. We actually got the Hotel Indigo. We also have the Best Western. We also have the Holiday Inn that we've closed down, making them part of the experience as we spread around downtown. We're also looking to have inside Harborside, we're going to have live music. We have industry performers in the video game industry, DJs, comedians, other entertainers. We're going to have video game competitions, and we're going to have interactive role-playing. We're also, most importantly, we're going to have a conversation with our fans. We're going to let them know what we've created is called the Game Nation Assembly. This has never been done in a company before. The Game Nation Assembly is the organization where our founding members have a conversation. They bring forth ideas, they vote on those ideas, and we as a company, we listen to them. And so, kind of like we're doing tonight, we're going to be rolling this out to the public, to our fans, get their feedback so they can participate in building this park with us. See, we believe that gamers need a home, and they need the power to change the world around them. And that's what we're doing at Game Nation. Any questions? Go ahead. Okay, we're very fortunate to have a...
Did everyone hear the question?
Where are we looking to build it?
There you go.
Sorry, thank you. We're very fortunate to have a partnership with one of the largest landowners in the state of Florida. So we are looking at South Florida to build a park. South Florida.
Southwest, southeast, southwest. Can you
Love you, Susan.
like
Well, so more importantly, when you look at where we're going, we need a place to put the world headquarters. All right, and we believe that the world headquarters could be here in Fort Myers. And the alpha test of that is November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So that's why we're stepping out, not only in this marketplace, but this area.
Can I help you with that?
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
So the
Go to
Dream of
Mike.
Game Nation, Southwest Florida, headquartered in Fort Myers, with a theme park within a 45-minute drive of the headquarters here. If our dream comes true, and all of you can help us do that, well, when's a great answer. And I don't have that for you. Oh, when? Absolutely. Thank you. When? We have a fantastic partnership with one of the largest landowners in the state of Florida, and it will be in Southwest Florida.
See, I'm not always knowing what I'm allowed to say. That's all my boys right there. Thank you, Cole. You had a question.
Well, basically my question was, when do you think completion will be done to start the whole thing? At your dome, get the whole place set?
Yeah, basically he wants to know the timeline. When do we get started? Well, first of all, we're starting in November. That's our alpha test.
Okay.
If everything goes well, 10 months later we can have the first arena open. And then with 10 to 12 months, then the tour can also launch from there. The park's about 5-7 years old.
How do you know that it'll be a success, November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd? Do you have specific goals, dollar-wise, attendance-wise?
Because when you come, see, I'm learning, right? When you come, we will sell enough tickets, we will promote it enough, we will have enough people there to celebrate Game Nation celebration. It will be the biggest event to hit downtown of all time.
Well, you're gonna come on board. Me, all here, and make it happen.
Yes, sir.
And like you said, live interaction.
Live interaction and role playing, yes.
Can
You expand upon that?
yeah.
Absolutely. So the experience that we're doing, on one level, you can consider it, on one level you can consider, when we get to the big idea, it's laser tag on steroids, or the roller coasters fight you back. When you go to theme parks today, it's about the characters of their intellectual property, so you might dress up like Buzz Lightyear,
Right.
you might like that. And then you meet Buzz, which is great. But video games is more personal, intimate medium. So it's about you, your character, your achievements. And so when you're in Game Nation, you get into a world of total interactivity where everything you touch, you do, as you score experience points. And it's not just on that ride, it's about the entire park itself. And it's all about based on you. In November, we're rolling out the alpha test of that, where you can come, you can pick from our characters, you can bring a character you've already played before, or you can make a brand new one, and you can participate in a live action role-playing adventure that weekend. Kind of like questing. Or you can play in the video game competitions or come celebrate at the live music. Eric.
Yeah, did you have any idea where the tour stops? Like, you said you're gonna go take it on tour. Well, what's that gonna be like? Are you talking about like nationwide? Are you talking about
Yes.
locally or?
Nationwide. Yeah, the 10 city, 12-day stay. 12 city, 10-day stay, sorry. Yeah, nationwide.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
Are we going to see like actual IPs we're familiar with, Mario, Sonic, Zelda,
Well, you